Hey everybody, my name is Natalie Duncan-Emmons. I wanted to thank you for listening to this episode of The Morning Show. I'm the creator, the producer, and the host of the show. We want you to check out our website. It's themorningshowwithnatalie.com. You can go to that website. You can see all about our sponsors, all about the show. You can even listen to live episodes while they're going on right there from the website. Another way to listen to the show live is go to Live 365. You can download that app and just search for The Morning Show. It's right there. Super easy. We want you to hit the like button and subscribe to this channel if you will. That way you can keep up with what's going on The Morning Show. Thank you. I hope you enjoy it.
Hey friend, it's great to have you tuned into The Morning Show today. Here on The Morning Show, you'll hear your favorite Southern gospel music and some of the classics you'll never forget. And now, the hostess of The Morning Show, Natalie Duncan-Emmons.
When you wake up to the storm, and all you feel are the waves crashing against your boat, you wonder if anybody remembers you or the journey that you're on. When you feel discouraged from what you see on the news or the events going on around you, well, friend, cut it off. Don't look to the left or to the right, look up. And when everything inside of you is screaming to be afraid, to accept defeat, or to hand our enemy a victory, well, you need to sing, and then keep singing. Sing it some more, for we are God's people, and that's just what God's people do. Well, we sing.
He said sing, from a life and heart, just sing. When the night is darkest, sing. Let your joy explode and let music fill the air. And sing, when there's nothing else to do, sing. When something deep inside of you tells you that life is still a wonder, just throw back your head and sing. He said sing, from a life and heart, just sing. When the night is darkest, sing. Let your joy explode and let music fill the air. And sing, when there's nothing else to do, sing. When something deep inside of you tells you that life is still a wonder, just throw back your head and sing. When God created living things, He knew we'd need a way to share our fears, our questions, and our dreams. Oh, there were words, but words won't do when joy swells up inside. There simply had to be a better way. And He said sing, from a life and heart, just sing. When the night is darkest, sing. Let your joy explode and let music fill the air. You can sing, when there's nothing else to do, sing. When something deep inside of you tells you that life is still a wonder, just throw back your head and sing. The birds God sent on flashing wings to fill the sky with song. Put music in the brook and crashing sea.
The wind blew through the threads of grass like fingers through the strings of golden harps that made the meadow sing.
Then He said sing, from a life and heart, just sing. When the night is darkest, sing. Let your joy explode and let music fill the air. You can sing, when there's nothing else to do, sing. When something deep inside of you tells you that life is still a wonder, just throw back your head and sing.
The psalmist said, "Make a joyful noise unto the Lord, all ye lands. Serve the Lord with gladness. Come before His presence with singing. Know ye that the Lord, He is God. It is He that hath made us, and not we ourselves. We are His people and the sheep of His pasture. Enter into His gates with thanksgiving, and into His courts with praise. Be thankful unto Him, and bless His name. For the Lord is good, His mercy is everlasting, and His truth endureth to all generations."
Then He said sing, from a life and heart, just sing. When the night is darkest, sing. Let your joy explode and let music fill the air.
You can sing,
When there's nothing else to do, sing. When something deep inside of you tells you that life is still a wonder, just throw back your head and sing.
then He said sing.
From a life and heart, just sing. When the night is dark,
it is Throwback Thursday. We love Throwback Thursdays. It's going to be a good one. We've got Mr. Terry Blackwood. His dad was one of the original Blackwood brothers. And Mr. Terry spent many years with the group, the Imperials, who made, well, just a huge impact on gospel music. He's going to be here second hour with some incredible stories. He spent many years on stage with Elvis Presley. Yes, he did. So he's going to be here second hour to tell us all about that. Don't miss that. It's going to be an incredible...
I took a drink from some life-giving water in this dry desert land where I dwell. And my cup's overflowing, gives me joy, makes me sing, 'cause I'm still drinking water from the well. Oh, yes, I'm still drinking water from the well, overflowing from that clear crystal fountain. Watch it flow, watch it swell, and my soul satisfied, and I'm happy, can't you tell? Yes, I'm still drinking water from the well. They pierced his side, and a fountain was open from a spear and those 3 rusty nails. And it thrills me just knowing that my friends I can bring, and they too can drink water from the well. Yes, I'm still drinking water from the well, overflowing from that clear crystal fountain. Watch it flow, watch it swell, and my soul satisfied, and I'm happy, can't you tell? Yes, I'm still drinking water from the well. Yes, I'm still drinking water from the well, overflowing from that clear crystal fountain. Watch it flow, watch it swell, and my soul satisfied, and I'm happy, can't you tell? Yes, I'm still drinking water from the well, and my soul satisfied, and I'm happy, can't you tell? Yes, I'm still drinking water from the well.
My name is Natalie Duncan-Emmons. You are listening to The Morning Show. Philippians 4:8 says, "Finally, brethren, whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are of good report, if there be any virtue and if there be any praise, think on these things." It all starts with our thinking. Our thoughts become our habits, and our habits become our reality and our way of life. So if you're not happy with how you feel about yourself or with others or with life in general, maybe you should think differently. It's been proving that simply thinking positively can give you a better quality of life, higher energy levels, a lower rate of depression, and even a longer lifespan. So we're thinking positive today. Yes, we are. I'm glad you're listening to The Morning Show. There is no place else I'd rather be. Our featured artist of the week, well, that's been Jimmy Yeary all week long. We've been featuring different songs that Jimmy Yeary has written, and here's one right here by the Wisecravers. Here's our featured artist of the week. He will be here tomorrow morning, Mr. Jimmy Yeary. Here's the Wisecravers.
The mountains start moving, and grace breaks my fall. I find strength in battle when the giants stand mighty tall. When I'm not enough, my cup runs over full of love. And I'm reminded what was done for me on Calvary, yeah. When I run to you, I run to you, Jesus. When I run, when I run, when I run to you, when I can't see through the night, gonna be alright. When I run, run, run to you. out and take a hand, leading each other to the promised land, to the great I am. When we run to you, we run to you, Jesus. When we run to you, when we can't see through the night, we're gonna be alright. When we run to you. Oh God, I'm running. Oh God, I'm running. But fear is blocking my way to you. Oh God, I'm running. These chains are holding me back from you. Child, I'm running to you. There's no power in hell that could keep me from you. When you can't see through the night, you're gonna be alright. 'Cause I'm running, always running to you. When you can't see through the night,
down, down, down. You can't hold me down. Get up out of that ground. Yeah. Ain't no grave gonna hold me down.
Well, that's the Isaacs with Ain't No Grave. Before that, you heard from the Wise Carvers, When I Run to You. Well, have you heard about this NyQuil chicken challenge? You heard anything about that? They say it's going around all over TikTok. I don't do TikTok, so I didn't know, but they say all the rest of the world knows about it. Well, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration is warning against a social media challenge, which involves people coating their poultry. That means they're frying their chicken. That's what that means. The people are frying their chicken, or they're cooking their chicken, baking their chicken, boiling their chicken, whatever, in NyQuil. Yeah. It's called the NyQuil Chicken Challenge. And people are coating their meat in this over-the-counter medication, which is used to treat flu symptoms, cold, allergies, cough. The FDA has warned there could be some pretty severe outcomes to this. They say actually boiling a medication can make it more concentrated and much more dangerous to ingest. They also said that even inhaling the medication's vapors while cooking the chicken could cause high levels of that concentrated drug to enter your body, and said it could do great harm to your lungs as well. So don't cook your chicken in NyQuil. Just don't do it. No matter how much fun that seems it would be, not for us. Just not for us. Here's the Gaithers.
There is a mountain I'll cross over. I cannot see the other side. Will it be home or just another mountain to climb? I can't decide. Fortunately, I'll climb with a friend, one who will carry me on to the end. There is a mountain I'll cross over. Fortunately, I'll cross with a friend. There is an ocean I'll sail over. I cannot read the coming tide. Will it be still or stormy weather? When will I reach the other side? Fortunately, I'll sail with a friend, one who will guide with me on to the end. There is an ocean I'll sail over. Fortunately, I'll sail with a friend. There is a road that I must travel, blinded by headlights in the night. I look for a map or a sign to guide me. I just want to make it home tonight. Fortunately, I'll ride with a friend, one who will drive with me on to the end. There is a road that I must travel. Fortunately, I'll ride with a friend. There is a mountain that I gotta cross over. There is a mountain
Down by the tabernacle, oh, where the June boats danced and the lemonade flowed, and we prayed and we sang till the sun sank low, laughing with our sisters and brothers. Down by the tabernacle, hey, where you knew you were loved and you wanted to stay. Though the Texas heat was like Judgment Day, we always enjoyed each other. Well, we went to the river and some were baptized, clapped our hands and testified. Then we passed around the chicken and buttermilk pie, and nothing ever tasted better. Then the kids played ball and the babies just played, while the old man napped out under the shade, and the women picked flowers and sipped lemonade and sat around talking together. Down by the tabernacle, oh, where the June bugs danced and the lemonade flowed, and we prayed and we sang till the sun sank low, laughing with our sisters and brothers. Down by the tabernacle, hey, where you knew you were loved and you wanted to stay. Though the Texas heat was like Judgment Day, we always enjoyed each other. Well, I look back now and I wish I could go back to the time when life was good, when everybody lived the way they should. At least that's the way I recall. When black was black and white was white, where everybody knew the wrong from the right, and we worked all day and we slept all night. We were proud and stood tall. Down by the tabernacle, oh. June bugs danced and the lemonade flowed, and we prayed and we sang till the sun sank low, laughing with our sisters and brothers. Down by the tabernacle, hey, where you knew you were loved and you wanted to stay. Though the Texas heat was like Judgment Day, we always enjoyed each other. Down by the tabernacle.
Well, do you ever find yourself just aggravated? Aggravated with the government, with what's going on in our country? It appears to me that if our government just doesn't like what you have to say, well, they can just come in and take what you have away. I don't remember it being like that in the past, but it does seem like it's that way today. And if you're disturbed about that, like I am, well, here's a suggestion. Let's support people like Mike Lindell, people who I believe are being abused and mistreated by our government. If we reach out and support those people, well, we're at least doing some part to stand up for the righteous. And today, the Percale sheets, well, they're almost gone at MyPillow, but the Percale sheets you can get as low as $29.98. That's according to what size you get and those kind of things. But you can get them as low as $29.98 today with the promo code Natalie, Natalie. And the Giza sheets, those luxury Giza sheets, they're at the best price ever available at MyPillow.com. Today, right now, you can get them as low as $39.99 according to what size you order. You got to use the promo code Natalie. Not only will you be getting the best set of sheets that you will ever have slept on in your life, but you're supporting good people and you're supporting good causes, people who are out there advocating the cause of Christ. So we'd appreciate it if you'd support Mike Lindell and all the Patriots at MyPillow. And you're supporting us right here on The Morning Show when you do that. MyPillow.com. Use the promo code Natalie today.
Been walking to a city I cannot see, through the depths of the valley where the sun can't reach. I've been high, I've been low, I've been looking for the river that could fill my soul. Been walking to a city I cannot see. Fill my cup, Lord, run it over. Give me love, give me joy, give me peace. Fill my cup, Lord, I cannot see. Although that even this valley was a golden stream. Fill my cup, Lord, run it over. Give me love, give me joy, give me peace. Fill my cup, Lord, run it over. I am your child in need. Lord, I need you. Fill my cup, fill my house up with hope. Fill my plans up with purpose. Fill my wounds up with healing. Lord, I need you. Fill my cup, fill my days up with meaning. Fill my future with vision. Goodness, grace, and provision. Lord, I need you. Fill my cup.
SouthernGospelPrizes.com has another Win It Before You Can Buy It prize for you. Brian Free and Assurance's new EP, Meet Me at the Cross, releases October 7th. But we've got your opportunity to win it before you can buy it. We'll draw 5 winners October 6th. Registration and all the details are available at SouthernGospelPrizes.com. Southern Gospel Prizes for Southern Gospel fans. SouthernGospelPrizes.com.
Beautiful home, beautiful land, beautiful place on a faraway strand. Beautiful country where my friends have gone. Sorrow and pain, trouble and care, none of these will ever be there. Heaven is waiting now for me, beautiful home.
Beautiful home of pure delight, beautiful home of mansion bright.
And I know I'll live in one someday.
Beautiful sights there to behold, beautiful gates and streets of gold.
I will have a beautiful home someday. Beautiful robes, beautiful crowns, glorious singing all around. Happy reunion on that golden shore. We will be there, happy and free, satisfied ever we'll be, praising the Savior for His love evermore.
Beautiful home of pure delight, beautiful home of mansion bright.
And I know I'll live in one someday.
Beautiful sights there to behold, beautiful gates and streets of gold.
I will have a beautiful home someday.
Beautiful home of pure delight, beautiful home of mansion bright.
And I know I'll live in one someday.
Beautiful sights there to behold, beautiful gates and streets of gold.
I will have a beautiful home someday.
Beautiful home of pure delight, beautiful home of mansions bright.
And I know I'll live in one someday.
Beautiful sights there to behold, beautiful gates and streets of gold.
I will have a beautiful home someday. I will have a beautiful home someday.
Music, ministry, and more. It's The Morning Show with Natalie Duncan-Emmons.
You're listening to The Morning Show. And now, with your patriotic point of view, here's Larry Gressett.
On this date in history, September 22, 1862, President Abraham Lincoln issues a preliminary Emancipation Proclamation, which sets a date for the freedom of more than 3 million enslaved in the United States and recasts the Civil War as a fight against slavery. When the Civil War broke out in 1861, shortly after Lincoln's inauguration as America's 16th president, he maintained that the war was about restoring the Union and not about slavery. He avoided issuing an anti-slavery proclamation immediately, despite the urgings of abolitionists and radical Republicans, as well as his personal belief that slavery was morally repugnant. Instead, Lincoln chose to move cautiously until he could gain wide support from the public for such a measure. Lincoln's handwritten draft of the final Emancipation Proclamation was destroyed in the Chicago Fire of 1871. Today, the original official version of the document is housed in the National Archives in Washington, D.C. I'm Larry Gressett with your patriotic point of view.
The Patriotic Point of View was brought to you by Joe McGee Construction. Joe McGee Construction believes family is one of God's greatest gifts. Family owned and operated for the past 33 years, Joe McGee Construction is the proud employer of some of Mississippi's best tradesmen. Together, we are supporting our communities and working hard to ensure that every commute to work and every ride to school brings us safely home to our loved ones. Valuing faith, family, and the Magnolia State, Joe McGee Construction is building safer roads for a better Mississippi. Joe McGee is my friend, and I thank him for helping us bring you the best mix of Southern gospel music, along with your patriotic point of view here on The Morning Show.
Hello, hello, hello. Say hello. I've been longing to say hello, hello in heaven. Walking and talking on streets of gold, just want to say hello, hello. And passing by the sparkling river of life. So many things I want to know, but first things first, hello, hello. Hello, Naaman, how did you feel in the muddy river Jordan? Hello, Stephen, how did you stand the stones without a word? Hello, John, what did you do when you saw great heavenly things? Walking down streets of gold, saying hello. Hello, Paul, what did you sing in the prison stock at midnight? Hello, David, did you dance when Goliath bit the dust? Hello, Joshua, did you shout that shout when the walls came a-tumbling down? Walking down streets of gold, saying hello. Hello, hello, hello. Saying hello. I've been longing to say hello, hello in heaven. Walking and talking on the streets of gold, just want to say hello, hello. In passing by the sparkling river of life. So many things I want to know, but first things first, hello, hello. Hello, Mama, what did you think when you saw your children crossing? Hello, Daddy, how did you feel when you heard Mama sing? Hello, children, I'm thankful you chose the road to heaven. Walking down streets of gold, saying hello. Hello, Jesus, I've got a million years to praise you. Oh, sweet Jesus, my sins you did erase. Thank you, Jesus, oh my Jesus, you've been so good to me. Walking down the streets of gold, saying hello, 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 hello. I've been longing to say hello, hello in heaven. Walking and talking on the streets of gold, just wanna say hello. In passing by the sparkling river of life. So many things I wanna know, but first things first, hello, hello. So many things I wanna know, but first things first, hello, 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 hello.
There's one thing that remains the same for everyone. We only get so many trips around the sun. A new day dawns, here we go, and what it holds only God knows. So I guess I better make the most of what I got, 'cause life is out there waiting, ready or not. It's an open door I'm gonna walk through. I know for sure what I'm gonna do is love with all that's in me. Gonna give, holding nothing back. I'm gonna pray, 'cause I know that God is listening, and that's a fact. And I'm gonna live like there's no tomorrow. Gonna run hard till the road runs Jesus did. Life is short, yeah, that's true. I know for sure what I'm gonna do is love with all that's in me. Gonna give, holding nothing back. I'm gonna pray, 'cause I know that God is listening, and that's a fact. And I'm gonna live like there's no tomorrow. Gonna run hard till the road runs out. Hey, all we have is here and now, so I'm gonna make it count. Every moment, every minute, every step of every mile. Oh, we're only here for a little while, so I'm gonna love, and I'm gonna give, and I'm gonna pray, 'cause I know that God is listening, and that's a fact. I'm gonna live like there's no tomorrow. Gonna run hard till the road runs out. Hey, all we have is here and now, so I'm gonna make it count. All we have is here and now. Make it count.
Gospel music's most spectacular event, the National Quartet Convention, returning to a premier vacation destination, Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. Headlining the main stage are Greater Vision, The Hoppers, Mark Trammell Quartet, Jim and Melissa Brady, Triumphant, The Booth Brothers, The Collingsworth Family, Ernie Haas and Signature Sound, and many others. Plus gospel music's largest marketplace, many spectacular daytime showcases, including the Singing News Fan Awards, the SGMA Hall of Fame induction ceremony, and keynote speakers like Dr. Robert Jeffress and Dr. David Jeremiah. Reserve your seats today. Visit nqconline.com or call 800-846-8499.
Yes, the National Quartet Convention, it actually begins this Sunday, September the 26th in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. I'll be headed up on Tuesday. I'll be there Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday of next week. We're looking forward to that. We've been talking about some different categories for the Singing News Fan Awards. That will be on Friday. Yesterday, we covered the quartets, the favorite quartet for 2022. I want to give you the results from what I gathered from our listeners, who your favorite quartet for this past year, according to the listeners of the morning show. Well, that would be a tie. You have two favorites, it appears. We actually had four groups that got a good many votes, but the top two that were a tie would be the Triumphant Quartet and the Lefevre Quartet. Those two got the most votes. They appear to be the favorite quartets of the morning show, but coming in second, really, really close, that'd be the Tribute Quartet and the Kingsmen. Both of those groups got a whole lot of votes too. So that's fantastic. You can't go wrong with any of those quartets right there. They're all great. Today we're looking at favorite song of the year. Here's what we've got. A Good Day Coming On. I feel a good day coming on. That's by Kingdom Heirs. Given, Buried, Risen, Legacy 5. How Saved I Am, Triumphant Quartet. Religion Isn't Working, Joseph Habedank. Somebody Tell, Tribute Quartet. Start with Well Done, Greater Vision. The Book, Karen Peck and New River. What the Cross Really Is, Brian Free and Assurance. What We Need, Mark Trammell Quartet. And When the Old Story Was New, that's the Kingsmen. A Good Day Coming On, Given, Buried, Risen. How Saved I Am, Religion Isn't Working, Somebody Tell. Start with Well Done. The Book, What the Cross Really Is, What We Need, When the Old Story Was New. There are two or three good ones that I really like on that list. There are a couple on that list that I've never even played on my show. So, it's just a difference of opinion. I really love the Joseph Habedank song, Religion Isn't Working Anymore. That's a fantastic song. I loved Karen Peck, New River, the book. That's a great song. I think that the award will go to The Kingsmen, When the Old Story Was New. I'm predicting that's going to be the winner. My favorite of the 10, my favorite for 2022 is probably Religion Isn't Working by Joseph Habedank. That's just my opinion. I'd love to know your favorite song from 2022. You can text it to me, 601-616-4066. That's 601-616-4066. Or you can shoot me a message on the Facebook. Either way, here's the one that I'm picking to walk away with that award. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. We'll see. And they've had a good year. I think it'll be this one, When the Old Story Was New by the Kingsmen.
If I had been there to see it all happen on the hills just outside Bethlehem, I would gaze at the stars where the angels sang glory, find the place there was no room for him. If I had been there that day at the Jordan when John looked up and called him the Lamb, I would trace every step that took him to Calvary, watch the nails pierce his feet and his hands. But I'm here in this moment 2,000 years later. I know in my heart it's all true, so I'll tell it today like I would have back then when the old story was new. When the old story was new. If I had been there to hear he is risen, I'd run to that cold empty tomb. I would stand on the mount where Jesus ascended and rejoice that he's coming back soon. But I'm here in this moment 2,000 years later. I know in my heart it's all true, so I'll tell it today like I would have back then when the old story was new. When the old story was new. He's still the truth, life and the way, and the gospel still has power to save. So I'm here in this moment 2,000 years later. Oh, in my heart it's all true, so I'll tell it today like I would have back then when the old story was new. When the old story was new. So I'll tell it today like I would have been when the old story was new. When the old story was new.
Dead man walking, stepping from the grave, raised by the master after being dead 4 days. Lazarus, he came forth when Jesus called his name. Touched by the hand of God, a miracle he gave. He was a dead man walking. He was a dead man walking. With a strength from his mighty hand, he'll call turn to dust, he'll call you forth again. You'll be a dead man. Walking, walking. You'll be a dead man. Walking. You may be a victim of Satan and his plans. Your soul man a dying with your grave clothes in your hands. Like the dead lion in a tomb of sin. Just reach up and touch the master's hand and start to live again. He was a dead man. Walking, walking. He was a dead man walking. With the strength from his mighty hand, he'll call you from the grave. Even when you've turned to dust, he'll call you forth again. You'll be a dead man. Walking, walking. You'll be a dead man. Walking. You'll be a dead man walking. You'll be a dead man walking.
Well, I want to talk to you about the good folks over at Hometown Roots in Sebastopol, Mississippi. Good news today. The Neon Spirit Day shirts, we've been calling them the Spirit Tees. That's what I've been calling them on the show. The T-shirts that go with the school, the neon colors, they're absolutely beautiful. They are back in stock. I think they've about sold out of what they had. That's been a big hit, those Spirit T-shirts. But they've restocked. I know they've got the Sebastopol Bobcat T-shirts because I'm looking at that on the Facebook, but I'm sure they have the other schools back in stock as well, the Lake Hornets, the Union Jackets, things like that. So if you're in our area and you know any of the kids that play, if you're connected to the school, if you go to the games, or if you just want to support somebody like I do that plays on the team, well, you need to get you one of these shirts. No, they're bad serious about that football in these high school games. That's important. So I just want you to know that they are restocked with these Spirit Tees. So if you don't have one yet, especially if you go to the ball games, well, you got to get you one of these shirts so you can support your favorite team right here locally in our area. 601-625-7512 is the number for Hometown Roots. Of course, you can look them up on the Facebook. We just don't want you to miss out on these Spirit T-shirts for the schools if you'd like to have one, because they go fast. They don't last long. Hometown Roots, that's just the place to be.
Once I walked alone in desperation, knowing not my way back home, and my heart could find no consolation in the troubled path I roam. Then I found myself an old-time altar where I knelt to pray one night. When I felt the tears roll down my face,
place, that's when I felt the Lord inside. With the Spirit of the Lord inside, there's a greater love in me. When I asked Him to come in my life, what a difference I could see. And I know that it's a real salvation, for no other it could be. With the Spirit of the Lord inside, there's a greater love in me. Since that day my life has changed completely. There's a gladness in my heart. I'm a member of God's loving family with a message to impart. If you're searching for your soul's contentment, there's one thing that you can do. You'll find true joy and happiness with the Spirit of the Lord in you. With the Spirit of the Lord inside, there's a greater love in me. When I asked Him to come in my life, what a difference I could see. And I know that it's a real salvation, for no other it could be. With the Spirit of the Lord inside, there's a greater love in me. Salvation, for no other it could be. With the Spirit of the Lord inside, there's a greater love in me.
Hey y'all, you are listening to some of the best Southern gospel music there is on the morning show with Natalie and Nicole and Tate and Buddy sometime.
I never thought I would be in this valley, but that's where I am. I picked up the pieces, tried to put them together, but it's so hard to stand. And Lord, I don't know what to do. I'm fully depending on you. My heart may be breaking, my soul may be shaken, and I don't have the will to be strong.
Not for long, I will walk on in victory, knowing you're right here with me when everything's going wrong. It's not for long, no, this valley won't keep me, the pain won't defeat me, circumstances may silence my song, but not for long. It's so amazing how you can turn sorrow to rivers of joy. You've given me peace that's beyond understanding, the world can't destroy. This trial will strengthen my faith, and I know that you'll make a way. I'll trust you completely and keep on believing when it seems like my last hope is gone. Not for long, I will walk on in victory, knowing you're right here with me when everything's going wrong.
strengthen my faith, and I know that you'll make a way. I'll trust you completely and keep on believing when it seems like my last hope is gone. Not for long, I will walk on in victory, knowing you're right here with me when everything's going wrong. It's not for long, no, this valley won't keep me, the pain won't defeat me, circumstances may silence my song. Not for
The morning show now has a YouTube channel. We want you to know about that, to check it out, and to utilize it. If you go to YouTube, you can simply search for The Morning Show, Natalie Duncan-Emmons. The channel pops right up. Super easy. We're asking that you subscribe to that so that you can stay in the loop with everything going on right here on The Morning Show. If you miss an episode, if you miss an interview, you can go back and you can listen to that at your convenience. We now have over 80 episodes up and running and over 60 interviews that you can go back and listen to whenever you would like to. The YouTube channel is being brought to you by 21 Machine and Fab. With 53 years of experience in metal machining and fabrication industries, father and son team Larry and Alex Crimmed opened the doors of 21 Machine and Fab in 2018. Affectionately referred to as Club 21, the building features state-of-the-art ISO panel construction and houses 15,000 square foot operations. The shop encompasses both fabrication and machining equipment as well as precision cutting water jet technology. They work primarily with stainless steel, aluminum black iron, and plastic to create both standard and custom solutions for your design challenges. 21 Machine and Fab on Highway 21 right out of Forest, Mississippi. We want you to reach out to Club 21 for all of your fabrication and machining needs. Thanks to Larry and Alex Crimmed for bringing you the Morning Show YouTube channel.
I remember when I was a lad, times were hard and things were bad, but there's a silver lining behind every cloud. Just poor people, it's all we were, trying to make a living out of black land dirt. We get together in a family circle singing loud. Daddy sang bass,
Mama sang tenor.
me and little brother would join right in there.
Singing seems to help a troubled soul. One of these days, it won't be long, I'll rejoin them in a song.
I'm gonna join the family circle at the throne. No, the circle won't be broken. By and by, Lord, by and by. Daddy sang bass,
Mama sang tenor.
me and little brother would join right in there. In the sky, Lord, in the sky. Calling all of us, you could hear us singing for a country mile. Now little brother is done gone on, but I'll rejoin him in a song. We'll be together again up yonder in a little while. Daddy sang bass,
Mama sang tenor.
me and little brother would join right in there, 'cause singing seems to help a troubled soul.
One of these days, it won't be long, I'll rejoin them in a song.
I'm gonna join the family circle at the throne. Oh no, the circle won't be broken. By and by, Lord, by and by. Daddy sang bass,
Mama sang tenor.
me and little brother would join right in there. In the sky, Lord, in the sky. Oh no, the circle won't be broken. By and by, Lord, by and by.
sang bass.
Mama sang tenor. Me and little brother would join right in there. In the sky, Lord, in the sky.
We're glad you're listening this morning to The Morning Show with Natalie Duncan-Emmons. Stay tuned. The best is yet to come.
You're listening to The Morning Show. And now, with your pastor's perspective, here is Pastor John Hagee of Cornerstone Church, San Antonio, Texas.
On this date in history, September 22nd, 1862, President Abraham Lincoln issues a preliminary Emancipation Proclamation, which sets a date for the freedom of more than 3 million enslaved in the United States and recast the Civil War as a fight against slavery. When the Civil War broke out in 1861, shortly after Lincoln's inauguration as America's 16th president, he maintained that the war was about restoring the Union and not about slavery. He avoided issuing an anti-slavery proclamation immediately, despite the urgings of abolitionists and radical Republicans, as well as his personal belief that slavery was morally repugnant. Instead, Lincoln chose to move cautiously until he could gain wide support from the public for such a measure. Lincoln's handwritten draft of the final Emancipation Proclamation was destroyed in the Chicago Fire of 1871. Today, the original official version of the document is housed in the National Archives in Washington, D.C. I'm Larry Gressick with your patriotic point of view.
The pastor's perspective was brought to you by Salem Baptist Church in Lake, Mississippi. Salem is my home church, and I'm thrilled that they've partnered with The Morning Show to help us bring you, well, not only the best music in the world, but encouragement and words of life straight from God's Word. Brother Larry Duncan and the entire congregation at Salem, they invite you to come and visit whenever you get the chance. We're located just a few miles off of I-20 coming through mid-Mississippi. So if you live in our area, if you're ever traveling through our area on a Sunday morning, Sunday night, Wednesday night, well, you stop off the lake exit and visit with us. Thank you to Salem Baptist Church for bringing you your pastor's perspective.
Hey, folks, we're Tribute Quartet, and you're listening to The Morning Show with Natalie.
That heavenly home lies over Death's Sea. It's something that we can look forward to even in the face of death. And I think that really speaks volumes.
I'm looking away beyond the dark sea, to heaven my home, of which I oft dream. There millions have gone, its glory to share, Get ready, my friend, to live over there. That heavenly home lies over Death's Sea, where loved ones I know are waiting for me. With Jesus we'll live in glory divine, That heavenly home will surely be mine. That heavenly home has mansions of light, no storm clouds will rise, no shadows of night. That city four square, the sun will outshine, with all of the same. That home shine.
Mr. Terry Blackwood will be here for our Throwback Thursday next.
I've been wandering through the desert, ain't seen a cloud in forever over me, but I believe your rain is coming. Yeah, I've been hanging on to high hopes, 'cause you're the one who's making dry bones come to life. You're the light I put my trust in. Every word you say is gonna come true. You will lead me to the promised land. Everything you say is gonna happen, even though I haven't seen it yet. I will build a boat in the sand where they say it never rains. I will stand up in faith. I'll do anything it takes with you in my sails. Your love never fails or fades. I'll build a boat in the desert place, and when the flood and the water starts to rise, yeah, I'll ride the storm 'cause I got you by my side. With you in my sails, your love never fails or fades. I'll build a boat, so let it rain. You're the map, you're my compass. You help me navigate the currents under me. Take the lead, I surrender. Every word you say is gonna come true. You will lead me to the promised land. Everything you say is gonna happen, even though I haven't seen it yet. I will build a boat in the sand where they say it never rains. I will stand up in faith. I'll do anything it takes with you in my sails. Your love never fails or fades. I'll build a boat in the desert place, and when the flood and the water starts to rise, yeah, I'll ride the storm 'cause I got you by my side. With you in my sails, your love never fails or fades. I'll build a boat, so let it rain. I'll build a boat, so let it rain. I will build a boat in the sand where they say it never rains. I will stand up in faith. I'll do anything it takes with you and in my sails. Your love never fails or fades. I'll build a boat in the desert place, and when the flood and the water starts to rise, yeah, I'll ride the storm 'cause I got you by my side. With you in my sails, your love never fails or fades. I'll build a boat, so let it rain.
My name is Natalie Duncan-Emmons. You are listening to The Morning Show. It's Throwback Thursday, and you know what we do on Thursdays. Well, we throw it back to a group or a song or a writer from decades ago. And today, well, we may have bitten off more than we can chew because it's a mighty big topic for one show and one segment, but we're going to try it. We're throwing it back to the Imperials. And well, I almost can't believe who we have as our special guest this morning. It's Mr. Terry Blackwood. Good morning, Terry. Are you with us?
I'm here, Natalie. So good talking with you.
Look, I have really, really been excited about this. This is a pretty big deal. It's really special for us. And I want to start out by letting our listeners know exactly who you are. Our show is new. We've only been around about 10 months, and we have a lot of new listeners to Southern gospel music. Maybe not people who were raised listening to gospel music. They've kind of come in from different genres. So I want to establish for our listeners who's who. And everybody's heard of the Blackwood brothers. So I'm just kind of going back to some common ground, and I want everybody to know that your dad, if I'm not mistaken, I think I've got my facts right. Now, your dad was one of the original Blackwood brothers. Do I have it right? I mean, your roots go way back in gospel music, about as far as they can go. Is that right, Mr. Terry?
That's right, Natalie. There were three brothers, original brothers. There was Roy, who was born in 1900, and then his younger brother Doyle, who was my father, was born in 1911, and then the younger brother James was born in 1919. And by the time James was born, R.W., the oldest brother, had married and had a son named R.W., and that consisted or made up the original Blackwood Brothers Quartet with Roy, Doyle, my father, James, his younger brother, and R.W., Roy's oldest son. So my father used to introduce the group, since he was the original master of ceremonies, and he played the guitar to these other three brothers. He said during the introductions, he says, "We are the only quartet that you will ever see that consists of three brothers, two uncles, two nephews, a father, and a son." Sounds like a lot of men, doesn't it?
It does. It does. It's kind of hard to keep all that straight.
Yeah, but there were actually only three original brothers, and the oldest brother's son, R.W. And R.W. was the one who was killed in the plane crash in Clanton, Alabama in 1954, right after they had been on the Arthur Godfrey Talent Scout show. Mm-hmm. R.W. was probably one of the greatest singers I've ever heard. I would have to say he and James were the greatest singers in the Blackwood family. Wow. But I spent my years mainly on the piano, but when my voice changed when I was 13, I started singing in church, and it just developed into a wonderful career of singing. And now I sing my music, and I accompany myself on the piano.
Wow. The only one of the Blackwoods I ever got to meet was James, and I was really young. I wish I could go back and do that again, because when I met him, I'm not sure that I really had an appreciation for who I was meeting. You know, just as a child, James, I really appreciated it. I wish I could go back and meet him again. Yeah,
James was a wonderful man. I don't think he really realized what an impact he made on gospel music. James was a powerful singer, a great MC, and he really brought the group into prominence after the death of R.W. Mm-hmm. That's when he brought in J.D. Sumner and R.W.'s youngest son, Cecil. Yeah, they were these little men running around Mississippi. They started out as a duet. My father, Doyle, and his younger brother, James, started out singing duets around the Ackerman, Mississippi area, and then they developed a radio show in Kosciuszko, and they by that time their older brother Roy joined them, and R.W. joined them as well, and they started doing little concerts all around the state of Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana, and developed a huge following of people who loved to watch these four little men sing. Mm-hmm.
Well, you've already told me something I didn't know. I've heard of these guys all my life. I did not realize they were from Mississippi. If I did realize that, I have forgotten it. I'm about an hour and a half from Kosciuszko, Mississippi, and this is news to me. So I'm already learning something.
Well, let me tell you how they used to do it. Back then, they would put a little megaphone on the top of the car, and they would ride around the town before the concert announcing the concert that night. And the prices back then were a nickel. Mm. They would announce the concert at the high school or wherever they were going to sing, and charged admission of 5 cents to get into the concert. They packed out all the auditoriums they sang in.
Yeah, that is fascinating.
Yeah.
Well, it's fascinating to go back and hear about the Blackwoods, and I wanted everybody to understand that you are connected to the original Blackwood brothers, because that's kind of a big deal. But we're really talking about the Imperials today. I just wanted to set up the importance of who you are. And Mr. Blackwood, I'd like to say before we dive off into the era of the Imperials that I want to focus on, I want people to understand that you've had an extensive career in gospel music, not only with the Imperials, but with groups like the Stamps Quartet, the Memphians, and then you had a long run with Andres Blackwood and Company. And I know that was a big deal. We'll talk about that a little bit later on. But you've been featured on many of the Gaither homecoming videos. You've been connected to that, and you've just sung all across the world. So we can never cover everything that Terry Blackwood has done. But today we're spending a few minutes focusing on that era from 1967 to 1976, when you spent some golden years with the group that has stood the test of time. the Imperials. I'll say this. I don't know that any other group has put out as many albums as the Imperials have. When I started looking up, the albums, it went on and on and on forever. I mean, maybe you guys should get the award for putting out the most music of all time. It's incredible.
Well, back in the day when I had joined the Imperials, most of the groups would do an album a year, and it was just expected that every year you would put out a new LP, and you would travel around the country and sell your new release. And the Imperials were no different from the Spear family, the Oak Ridge Boys, the the Goodman family. They all did that. They all made records once a year, and then they would do their tours and sell their new album. That's how we started. The original Imperials consisted of Jake Hess. They call him Mr. I don't know what, but he was one of the all-time great singers of all time, Jake Hess.
He started the whole group.
Yes, actually, when Jake left the Statesman, he wanted to handpick a group of men to sing with him, and he picked Armin Morales on the bass, wonderful bass singer. He picked Gary McSpadden, who's what a great baritone he was, and his original tenor was a man named Cheryl Nielsen. And he had Henry Slaughter on the piano, who was their original master of ceremony. After about a year of that, Cheryl decided he wanted to go separate ways, so they hired Jim Murray to sing the tenor. And that was the group that pretty well established the Imperials as the great group that they really were. And 3 years after, just to try to shorten it as much as I can, 3 years after Jake had formed the group, he had a session with his doctor. His doctor was very concerned about his heart, so he recommended to Jake that he get off the road and rest for a while. So it was funny because at the same time that Jake left, Gary McSpadden left. So there was this big hole in the middle of the Imperials, and they called me because my name was Blackwood, I guess. I had just graduated.
You wouldn't want a Blackwood in the group.
Yeah, I had just graduated from the University of Memphis with a degree in business administration and a minor in music. And they picked a young man named Roger Wiles from California to sing the baritone. So the group that you're familiar with was formed in 1967, consisted of Armin Morales, Roger Wiles, Terry Blackwood, Jim Murray. And by the time I came along, Henry Slaughter had retired from the group, and they had hired a good-looking piano player from the state of New York named Joe Muscale. And that was the group that in 1967 was the group that you may be familiar with, because Joe was the master of ceremonies, and in 1967, when the promoters heard that Jake Hess had left the group, we had over 100 dates canceled that year.
Wow.
Because they wanted to see Jake Hess. They didn't want to see a little blonde-headed boy from Memphis. And so we started around the country singing our New Dimensions record and our Imperials Now record, and we slowly began to win over the people who wanted to see Jake Hess and Gary McSpadden.
And you did it.
Yeah, after one tour around the country and all across the country of Canada, we developed a new following of people. They decided they liked these young guys who were singing music a little differently, bringing in a little bit of contemporary flavor to their music.
Yeah.
And we developed our own following.
There's a shortage on corn and there's a shortage on wheat. There's a shortage on beans, we've got a shortage on meat. Things that we're needing, we just can't hardly buy. Soon we'll be asking if we're all gonna die.
I want to know about this. I know that you guys had a run with Elvis, and Elvis is, of course, Elvis is a big deal all of the time, no matter when. But the movie just came out; it's on everybody's mind. Everybody's fascinated with Elvis, and we all want to hear. We want the details. We want all the juicy stuff about what it was like to be around him, to sing with him, to travel with him. Tell us about just getting to experience music with Elvis. Tell us about that, Mr. Terry.
Well, in 1969, in May of 1969, Joe Muscayo, our manager, had gone into the Imperial offices early that day and was going through the mail and all the voicemails that were on the phone. Back then, they didn't have phones. We just had these old phones and messages. So as he was going through the mail and answering all the phone calls, the phone rang. It was a man named Elvis. And Elvis said to Joe, "Hey, Joe, how you doing, buddy?" He said, I've been listening to your New Dimensions record and your Imperials Now record, and I love the sound of the group. He said, in 2 months, I'm going to be opening in Las Vegas, Nevada, in July of 1969. He said, I've already secured the TCB band with James Burton, Ronnie Tutt, Jerry Schiff, and he said, and the Sweet Inspirations. He'd already secured them. He said, and I would love to have the Imperials be the male backup group for me. Would you guys be interested in joining us in Las Vegas?
Let me ask you this, Mr. Terry. Did you guys realize at that point the significance of what was happening?
Not in the least.
Okay.
Hey, I was a Mississippi boy raised in church, singing my hymns and my gospel music. I had no concept of Las Vegas. Mm-hmm. Never been to Las Vegas. Never even wanted to go to Las Vegas. But going back to the story, so Elvis asked Joe, "Would you guys be interested in joining me in Las Vegas?" Well, we hadn't gotten into the offices yet, and so Joe looked around the empty room, and he said to the guys that weren't there, "Hey guys, would you be interested in opening in Las Vegas with Elvis in 2 months?" And there was this hush on the phone.
Not bad.
And Joe got back on the phone with Elvis and said, "Elvis, every one of the guys nodded their head yes." He said, "When is the first rehearsal? We'll be there."
Good choice. Good choice.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, did you just perform there? Was it a stationary thing there in Las Vegas, or did you guys begin to travel with him like other places?
No, the original venue was the International Hotel in Las Vegas. You can go back and see if you ever seen the movie That's the Way It Is, you'll see the Imperials with the Sweet Inspirations, the TCB band, and a 40-piece orchestra on the stage. And we would do a month at a time, 2 shows a night, one at 8 and one at midnight. And there would be many nights that we would, upon invitation of Elvis, we'd go to the Penthouse after the second show, which ended at 2 a.m., and we would sing gospel music till about 5 in the morning.
Wow!
But before we sang, Natalie, we would watch Elvis do his karate demonstrations. Did you know that he was a black belt in karate?
No, I had no. It's the first I've ever heard of that.
So he walks out every night when we were in the Penthouse in his black karate outfit, and he used poor Charlie Hodge as his punching bag. Charlie was the guy who did all the bringing Elvis his water on stage, the short little guy, Charlie Hodge.
Yes, sir.
So he would do his karate demonstrations and knock Charlie to the floor time and time again. course, he pulled his punches. And he pulled his punches, but he showed us just how good he was, because Elvis really had he was a black belt in karate, and he incorporated his karate moves into what you saw on stage. And so many people see the movie and they think Elvis tried to turn on all those women. No, he didn't. Elvis was just doing what came naturally for him.
Does. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he had studied karate, and he had watched a man named Big Chief Wetherington of the Statesman.
Mm-hmm.
If you've ever watched the Statesman and you've seen Big Chief, he was the coolest guy you've ever seen.
Wow.
So he incorporated Big Chief with his karate, not with his cool moves on the stage, with his karate moves that he learned from his master, his black belt master. So Elvis never, when you see the movie, you think Elvis was trying to turn on all those women. Nothing could be further from the truth.
Mm.
Elvis, when the music started, he just simply couldn't be still.
Yeah.
He couldn't be still. And he would use his moves that he learned from Big Chief of the Statesman, and his karate moves he learned when he was studying karate. And that's what you saw on the stage. You saw a man, if you see the movie, that's the way it is. You'll see him doing his karate moves on the stage. He never once went down to the stage like you see in the movie, trying to turn on the women, like portrayed in the movie.
So that's a misrepresentation right there. They didn't get
absolutely
right, huh?
And they never once addressed Elvis's love for gospel music. When we went to the Penthouse, we didn't sing rock and roll music. We sang gospel music. He loved the Harmonizing Four and all the black gospel singers, and he loved the Imperials, the Blackwood Brothers, and the Statesmen. One particular man he liked was a man named Jimmy Jones I believe he was with the Harmonizing Four. He used to sing a song called "Farther Along, We'll Know All About It."
Mm-hmm. Farther along, yeah.
Farther along. You remember that? You know, we sing that in church all the time. Farther along, we'll know all about it.
Mm-hmm.
So we would put on the record player Jimmy Jones singing "Farther Along," and all the great gospel songs of the black gospel era. And then we'd stand around the piano and we'd sing. And one of the favorite songs that we would sing was "Amazing Grace." We sang that all four verses almost every night. One particular night we were up there in the Penthouse singing "Amazing Grace," all four verses. And Mama Cass of the Mamas and the Papas was standing there by the piano. And as we sang that song, she started to tear up. And when we finished the song, Elvis looked over at Mama Cass and said, "Mama, are you okay?" And there was this hush over the room, and she said, "Elvis," and she was teary-eyed. She said, "I haven't sung that song since I was a little girl."
Mm. Wow. And that's
it showed you just how powerful the message of the gospel is to people who just love the music. And I would imagine that Mama Cass probably was raised in church, and she probably got away from her faith. And I mean, I don't know that, but I have a feeling that's true.
Well, I felt that about Elvis. When I did watch the movie, I did feel like the movie did present and did show that his roots, his original love for music started in gospel. It did show that he had the roots there in the church. He was in that, in the black community there, and he worshiped with them in their style, and that greatly influenced everything about.
Oh, I think so too. I don't know if you know it, but when Elvis and his family moved from Tupelo to Memphis, Elvis had heard that the Blackwood Brothers had become members of First Assembly of God in Memphis, and this was actually before he had become such a celebrity. He started attending the church because the Blackwood Brothers were members of that church. And it was during that time that he was wanting to do a record for his mother, Gladys. Remember Gladys?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So he goes to Sun Records. I don't remember the name of the song, but it was a very, very simple song that he recorded for his mother, and he wanted to give it to her as a gift.
Mm.
So he recorded the song, and Sam Phillips was the producer and the owner of Sun Records. And he asked, he was looking for a white singer who sounded black.
Right.
And when he heard Elvis sing, he said, I believe I found the guy I've been looking for.
Mm-hmm.
And so he made the record and he gave it to his mother. And Elvis, I think at that time, Sam asked him to record a song maybe like Hound Dog, or I don't remember the name of it because I was too young to remember.
Mm-hmm.
So Elvis presented the song to his mother, she was just thrilled to get a song from her son. And I think it might have been Hound Dog. Big Mama Thornton had recorded the song earlier, and her version was like, you ain't nothing but a hound dog, crying all the time. You ain't nothing but a hound dog. Well, so Sam said, would you be interested in recording that song? And Elvis said, yeah, I'll try it. So Elvis's version was, you ain't nothing but a hound dog, crying all the time. You ain't nothing but a hound dog, crying all the time. Well, you ain't ever caught a rabbit and you ain't no friend of mine. Well, I said you was high class, but that was just a lie. That was the tempo that Elvis chose.
Wow. Isn't that something?
Yeah. The third gospel record that Elvis made. He only won 3 Grammys. And they were all for his gospel records. So the story goes that in 1971, we recorded an album called Love is a Thing. Mm-hmm. It contained the song He Touched Me, I've Got Confidence, Reach Out to Jesus, and Sweet, Sweet Spirit. Sweet, Sweet Spirit. And Elvis was about to go into the studio to record a new gospel album. He had recorded How Great Thou Art, and the second one was, I'm not sure of the name of the second one, but the third one was called He Touched Me. And he titled the song, the record, He Touched Me, and he said, guys, would you guys sing with me on this new recording that I'm going to do? And he said, I want to sing the song just like you guys sang it on that Love is a Thing record. And so we went into the studio and we recorded the third Grammy Award-winning album that they titled He Touched Me. And the Imperials backed him up on every song on that third Grammy Award-winning album. We recorded Reach Out to Jesus, I've Got Confidence, He Touched Me. There was one other one, I can't think of it. He didn't do Sweet Spirit. But those 3 songs were some of the really noteworthy songs on that third Grammy Award-winning album.
Let's play it. We've got it right here. It's Elvis with the Imperials, the classic He Touched Me. I think it would be extremely appropriate to play it right now on the morning show. Here it is, Elvis and the Imperials.
They are the number 1 male gospel group in the country, the Imperials, ladies and gentlemen.
Memories that you've got there. You've had some experiences the rest of us will never, ever get to have. We just all kind of wonder what that would have been like. You lived it, my friend. That's really something.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I don't think we ever realized the power that the group had. It seems that even now, the Gaither Vocal Band have patterned a lot of their music after the Imperials. Of course, they've taken it one step further because they're just fantastic singers.
Yeah.
But Bill Gaither is a huge Imperial fan. In fact, an interesting story. We had already been working with Elvis. And at that time, it was just the Bill Gaither Trio with his brother, Danny.
Mm-hmm.
And Bill came to us and said, hey guys, because Bill stutters. He said, would you want to hear my new song that I just wrote? And he played a little bit of Shackled by a Heavy Burden. And we said, well, sure, Bill, that would be a great song for us to record. So we changed it up a little bit, made it a little more up tempo, and went to the studio and we cut "He Touched Me," and that was one of the greater songs that we did on the "Love Is the Thing" record, and we cut it shackled by a heavy burden, a little more up tempo. And that's the cut that Elvis loves so much, and that's what he incorporated into his third Grammy album.
Wow.
But Elvis has always been, Bill has always been a fan of the Imperials. Even to this day, he loves to listen to the Imperials on the record.
Wow. Well, just from the outside looking in, I'm sure not qualified to make this call, but it looks like to me that the Imperials were the Gaithers before the Gaithers were the Gaithers. It looks like you did it first to me. It looks like you're the predecessors to it all.
Well, Natalie, I don't want to have your audience think that I'm saying we were such great influences on the industry, but we were just doing what God told us to do. We sang our music the best we could sing it every night. We gave God our very best performance.
Yeah.
And over the course of the many years that I was there, we developed a tremendous following of people who loved the sound of the Imperials, including Elvis.
Yeah.
And we had a few changes in baritone position, but the sound, the basic sound of the Imperials remained the same all through the years. It was basically a full sound, a little bit different from Southern gospel, but it had a flavor of its own, where it had a little bit of touch of contemporary music with it, and we just developed our own following.
Well, for all of the listeners, for the record, Terry Blackwood did not insist that the Imperials were a force and influence in gospel music. But the host of the morning show, Natalie Duncan-Emmons, does insist that the Imperials were a force and influence in gospel music. So that is settled. We have settled
You
that.
said it. I didn't say it.
Right here on the morning show. The Imperials have been active since 1964, originated as a Southern gospel quartet, but they pioneered contemporary Christian music. They have had several changes through the band throughout the decades. They won 4 Grammys, 15 Dove Awards, and they have been inducted into the Gospel Music Hall of Fame. That's pretty incredible, and that's a legacy that will live on beyond you, Terry Blackwood. That's for sure.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm really not. I'm really humbled by it. I'm not saying that I'm proud of anything, because pride goeth before a fall. You know, the Bible says that.
Yeah.
But I was very, very honored to be in the Imperials and to be a contributor into the sound of that group.
Well, one of the albums that you were a part of was called No Shortage. It's one of the albums that received a Grammy. Am I right about that?
That's correct, yes.
There's a song on there that I sang as a little girl. I remember standing in church many, many times singing it. And even people that did not grow up listening to gospel music, maybe on the radio, maybe that never went to a gospel concert, but if they went to church, they might have heard this one anyway. And it's one that I love. And I want to go out with this one right here. But before we leave, Mr. Terry, I want to thank you for spending some time with us on the morning show, reminiscing about some really fun days. And you have a friend here on the morning show. Don't forget that.
Well, Natalie, thank you so much. I'm honored that you would think about me and would call me to do this. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Well, I hope I get to meet you one day. I don't think we've ever met, but maybe down the road we'll get to. But until then, you've got a friend here, and we're going out with the Imperials. Do you remember what year this came out, Give Them All to Jesus, or just the album No Shortage? Do you remember what year that was?
I believe it was 1975. Let me look here.
Okay.
Yeah, 1975. It was on the Impact label.
All right, you got it. Going back to 1975 on this Throwback Thursday. We're leaving you with the Imperials, Give Them All to Jesus. Thank you, Terry Blackwood.
Thank you, Natalie. Good talking to you.
You too.
Are you tired of chasing pretty rainbows? Are you tired of spinning round and round? Wrap up all the shattered dreams of your life at the feet of Jesus, lay them down. Give them all, give them all, give them all to Jesus. Shattered dreams, wounded hearts, broken toys. Give them all, give them all, give them all to Jesus, and He will turn your sorrow into joy. He never said you'd only see sunshine. He never said there'd be no rain. He only promised a heart full of singing about the very thing that once caused pain. So give them all, give them all, give them all to Jesus. Shattered dreams, wounded hearts, broken toys. Give them all, give them all, give them all to Jesus, and He will turn your sorrow into joy. Give them all, give them all, give them all to Jesus. Shattered dreams, wounded hearts, and broken toys. Give them all, give them all, give them all to Jesus, and He will turn your sorrow into
All right, we've got to throw one more Imperial song in because this one's by request. So one more, Oh Buddha.
Well, old Buddha was a man, and I'm sure that he meant well. But I pray for his disciples, lest they wind up in hell. And I'm sure that old Muhammad thought he knew the way. But it won't be Hare Krishna we stand before on the judgment day. No, it won't be old Buddha that's sitting on the throne. And it won't be old Muhammad that's calling us home. And it won't be Hare Krishna that plays that trumpet tune. message in this simple song. You see, there's only one way, Jesus, if eternal life is your goal. In meditation of the mind, it won't save your soul. No, it won't be old Buddha that's sitting on the throne. And it won't be old Muhammad that's calling us home. And it won't be Hare Krishna that plays that trumpet tune. And we're going to see the sun, not river moon. Well, you can call yourself a Baptist and not be born again, a Presbyterian or a Methodist, and still die in your sin. You can even be charismatic, shout and dance and jump a pew. But if you hate your brother, you won't be one of the chosen few. Cause it won't be a Baptist that's sitting on the throne, a Presbyterian or a Methodist that's calling us home. And it won't be a charismatic that plays that trumpet tune. So let's all just live for Jesus, because he's coming back real soon. Oh, it won't be old Buddha that's sitting on the throne. And it won't be old Muhammad that's calling us home. And it won't be Hare Krishna that plays that trumpet tune. And we're going to see the sun, and not Reverend Moon. And we're going to see the sun, and not Reverend Moon. Not Reverend
Well, if you are in our area, we want you to know about the Wing Dang Doodle Festival coming up this Saturday at Gaddis Park in Forest, Mississippi. Lots of fun things. It starts at 8 a.m. with a Wing Dang Dash 5K run or walk. I probably won't attend that, but you should. And then the Forest Community Arts Talent Show, another half-mile fun run. The opening ceremony is actually going to be at 10 o'clock. Tate's going to be doing the national anthem there. And then Southern Thunder will be performing from 10:15 to 12 o'clock. Of course, all day long, wings will be available to purchase. And you can attend the soccer games that will be going on. But a cornhole tournament. Who doesn't love cornhole? The Central Trust Band will be performing from 12 to 2. And then at 2:45, Tate and I will be performing at the Wing Dang Doodle. So come on out to Forest, Mississippi, the Gaddis Park for the 17th annual Wing Dang Doodle this Saturday, September the 24th. I just believe it's going to be a whole lot of fun. Hope to see you there this Saturday. Well, let's talk about Star C Sweets Catering. You know, they've got those take and bake meals that Heather Compton now provides. All you have to do is order it. She'll get it ready for you. You can pick it up at Hometown Roots, and your day just became a whole lot easier. Here's the menu for this week, September the 19th through the 24th. Chicken and dumplings, chili. You know, it's just getting that time of year. You want a little chili. Cheesy chicken rice, ham and cheese sliders. And here's the best part, that white chocolate bread pudding. I went by Hometown Roots last week, and when I got there, I wanted to know, Heather, do you have any of those white chocolate bread puddings? I just like to keep one around. Sometimes I just want a little something sweet to eat, and I like to nibble on that. She was sold out that day. Did not have any more white chocolate bread puddings, but she's going to have them next week. So I'm telling you, that would make your meal. So you need to get in touch with Heather Compton. The number is 601-900-0214, 601-900-0214. Or even better yet, you can just message Heather on the Facebook and tell her what you want, and she'll get that ready for you. Star C Sweets, take advantage of this. It sure will make your life a whole lot easier.
With thunder loud, the tempest rolls. There was no way out, and it shook my soul. There was raging on every turn. What was God teaching? What could I learn? Could it be when I am blinded by life's cold and angry rain? He is proving
He'll provide each time He seems so far away. I may not understand, but I'm so glad I trusted in the Lord. For I'm still standing after the storm. When floods of doubt and winds of change toss you about and shake your faith, trust the one who knows how and why. Then when you're safe through, you'll testify. Could it be when I am blinded by life's cold and angry rain? He is proving He'll provide each time He seems so far away. I may not understand, but I'm so glad I trusted in the Lord. For I'm still standing after the storm. Could it be when I am blinded by life?